hello, Stephanie. I am the person that was told not to bite you. My name is Anele, and I'm one of the broadcasters in South Africa. And I would say top 10 Petronas fans in the world. And I can be, you can quiz me whenever this is done, but really love the work that you guys do. And this is such a great opportunity. And I mean, coming up to Monza, and I know how you guys are, when you're about to tackle somebody on their ground,
Yeah.
it's all hands on deck. So it really means a lot that you're doing this for us. And when I was looking at your story, I thought to myself, you are like the ultimate pop idol winner, right? 7,000 people enter, then it goes to 100, then it goes to 50, then it goes to 10, and then there's 3, and then finally after 3, you hear Stephanie Travis is the ultimate winner. Take me to that moment. What did it feel like?
It was so hard for me to put it into words. It's so hard for me to put it into words. That moment it was so surreal. It's something that I always dreamt of, to work in Formula One day. And initially, all I could do was contact my parents and inform them. And then it was a case of just waiting until the announcement, when I was announced in February in Barcelona testing. So it was a surreal moment, and I still can't put it into words. I feel like I'm living in a dream. Every day is a dream to me. It's going to the track and doing something that I absolutely love. So I'm really enjoying it and living in the moment.
Now, I've been told that, dreams are actually huge responsibilities. And when I found out the things that you had to go through to win this, I mean, a psychometric test, verbal reasoning, creativity test, logic test, out of these, can you just walk us through, like, psychometric test? What does that mean? That you're not going to flip out on the team, like, during testing?
I think it was just a case of just testing my ability and whether the degree that I had done matched what they were looking for. So numerical reasoning is all to know that you can do the number crunching that you need trackside, and just to know that I had the necessary skills on top of my degree. So the degree came with the laboratory skills that were required, and the necessary knowledge, and we were just testing that essentially in those psychometric tests. And it's also a way of filtering in the initial stages of the application process.
Yeah. And what I love that you said in one of the interviews that I watched with you, you said you always knew it was going to happen, that you were going to work in F1. You just didn't know how. And I think when people look at people like you, it's a case of, I have this dream and I want it to happen, but I have to teach myself to be patient whilst I'm waiting for the dream to happen. How did you, go through that, like that waiting period? What was it like for you? Did you ever lose faith, or did you just always know it will come, it will come?
So for me, it really started from a young age, watching Formula One with parents, and I just always loved maths and science at school. So I knew that I wanted to be an engineer. And when I was trying to decide what degree path I wanted to do, I looked at degree paths in engineering, which sector of engineering, for example, chemical, mechanical, would get me into Formula One. But most importantly, it was about the one that would interest me the most, and the career prospects that interested me. So when I was following my dream, I was also ensuring that I was passionate about what I was doing. It was always in my mind that I want to get into Formula One, and I didn't focus on that. I focused on the wider picture, just in case there was not a chance for me to get into Formula One. I wanted to ensure that I was doing something that I loved. So when Petronas launched the Global Talent Search in 2018, it was just a great moment for myself, and it was something that I had dreamt about. And I just seized the opportunity and went through all the various stages. It's what I would say to other people is to not give up on your dreams and just work hard and persevere, and you never know when that moment may come to you.
Mm. I love the relationship with you and your parents, because I know people always try corner you into a situation where you're saying, oh, my role model is Maya Angelou or Oprah, and you just like, actually, my role model is my parents. And I love that. And I like that you stick to it. What did your parents teach you about failure?
Oh, my parents have always been there to support us from a very young age. And I think from very young, when you're in school and you're competing, for instance, at your first sports day and you don't win, that's when they start teaching you about failure. And it's not the end of the world if you're not first. So I've always had that from a young age. I used to compete in sports, so I was quite a competitive child. So they always had to instill in me that it's okay when you don't win, you just work harder for the next time. And it's all about just focusing on yourself and your own journey. And that's something that they instilled in me from a young age. And just to focus on myself, work as hard as I can, and focus on my education or whatever it is that I'm doing in that current moment. And then think about playing with friends after you completed all the important things in those young years, and do those first before you go out with your friends. Do your homework first. Those sorts of things were the things that they instilled in me. And not only that, when I went on into older years in school and even in university, my dad studied alongside me for my degree. So he would
No way.
conversations with me and try and engage us into our degree subjects. And he took a real interest in mine and all my siblings. So he studied alongside all of us and just helped us through. And it's just amazing to have parents like them that sacrifice so much for us to give us a chance in life. And I really am truly grateful to them.
I'm glad you brought in your siblings, because I understand that your cousin was a go-karter and you used to go with your cousin, to watch him as he was go-karting. Would you say that's when the bug bit you, when you realized that, one day I want to do this on a grander scale?
So two of my cousins were in go-karting competitions. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to actually go and watch them compete because they're quite a bit older than me. But what I did get to do is one of them went into working in the DTM environment, so another motorsport. And I traveled to some DTM races and seen him and seen the paddock and just had that experience, and that thrill was just there from watching on the TV, then being able to go into a DTM paddock. And that was actually the first time that I met Lewis Hamilton, one of the times in the DTM paddock, and some of the others, Lewis Jensen Button, a few others. And it just really pushed me, and it just gave me that extra push that I needed to say, that's really what I want to do. Just seeing it, even though it wasn't Formula One, just that motorsport environment. So as I got older, I started traveling to some places with friends. Barcelona Grand Prix was the first Grand Prix that I went to with friends, and it just kept growing from there. And I'd never lost the passion for the sport. So to be here every day with these high-speed machines, it's just it's mind-blowing. It's just amazing.
That's such a full circle, that the first Grand Prix you went to was Barcelona, and then the first time you went was when we were testing in Barcelona. So it's quite surreal, like full circle your entire life, right?
Yes. It was such a special moment for myself. I even saw where I sat with my friends and just being there. It was, I can't even put it to words. I still feel like I'm living a dream.
So here we go, from Harare to Monza to Spa, to Barcelona to Bahrain, to all these racetracks. Do you ever get to see any of the cities and, be a tourist and not be Stephanie, at work clocking in?
So this season's been quite intense, and it's not the same as a normal season. We have a lot of triple headers. So we're quite busy traveling from track to track, and I haven't really had a chance this year to experience some places. But last year I did have a bit more time to have a little bit of an explore and stay out in some places. So you do get that chance on a normal Formula One year without COVID. But to be honest, the main goal when we're going is to focus on our jobs. It's just a bonus to be able to experience the different cultures and the food. I'm a big foodie, so I do love experiencing the food in all the different places. And like Italy is one of the worst for me because all the desserts and pastries, it's not good for me, but we just live life and enjoy.
Dude, when they said you're currently in Italy for months, I just thought pasta. I thought, okay. I just thought that's it. It's pasta and it's the best coffee and it's Chris White shirt and it's charming people. Like, it's the entire package it's just too much even for me. So as you travel from one place to one place, the one thing I always pick up about the entire team is your guys' shirts are always new and crisp. Like, I have to wear this one. Like, this one gets washed and then I put it back on for the next race. Then it's washed. Do you guys get new clothes every week?
No, so we get an allocation at the beginning of the year. But obviously, if I was to spill some oil on it, they're easily accessible in the uniform department. But it's not to abuse your allocation. It's just to treat your team kit well and ensure that it lasts you.
All right. And your family, what questions do they ask you about, the teams? Because I know, like, like I'm on radio and TV here, so I'm constantly getting questions about other people on radio and TV, and like, can I get a ticket here and a ticket there? Has your life reached there yet, where people are like, yeah, yo, can you just ask Valtteri to, like, say what's up to my to my kid? Are you getting those requests from your family and friends?
I haven't yet, surprisingly enough.
Oh God.
I've had family that have just funded themselves and come to races, so that's been great. And my parents had the experience last year in Silverstone before the race weekend started to have a tour of the garage, which they really enjoyed, and they got to see where I worked. So that was a really special moment for me, for them to see me living my dream and see me working within the lab. So that was great.